People have tried to call you bitter, but you're not bitter, you're just scorned. And there's a difference. You see, you've gone through a lot. You've been through a lot of pain in your life. You've been through a lot of trauma at the hands of other people. People have hurt you. People have sabotaged you. People have abused you. People have mistreated you, bullied you, harassed you, stalked you, gang stalked you, gang mobbed you, the whole 9 yards. And after everything that you have been through, it left a lasting effect on your heart and on your soul and in your excuse me, and in your mind. They don't want this message to get out. The lasting effects that it had on you really affected you, and it hurt you, and it made you second guess yourself. It made you have a totally different outlook on life, because you're wondering, how could people be so cruel? How could people be so cold and callous and calculated and just covert narcissism, malignant narcissism? How could people just be this way? You wondered why people could be so cruel, and why people could just up and decide to come up against you in the way that they did. But you're not bitter. You see, bitterness is different. It's different. Bitterness is when you just choose to be mad at the world, mad at everybody, mad at strangers, mad at your friends, mad at your family, mad at your peers, mad at the cashier at the restaurant, mad at the cashier at the grocery store. Just being cold and nasty to everybody. That's bitterness. When you allow the pain to make you turn your heart sour, to where you're just sour to everybody, mean to everybody, people that have done nothing to you. That's bitterness. But when you talk about the things that have happened to you and you still have some anger inside, that's just your suppressed anger that's coming up to the surface that needs to be released, because you haven't fully dealt with all of the anger. You haven't fully sat with your anger. When you sit with your anger and deal with your anger, you can release your anger. But sometimes we suppress our anger. So when we talk about things that have happened to us, the anger comes back out. It's because we haven't fully addressed our anger, and that's the anger that's coming out. It doesn't mean you're bitter. It just means you have unresolved healing, unresolved issues, or unhealed trauma, unhealed anger, suppressed anger. That's all that is. That's not bitterness. Scorned is when you have been through stuff, you have been hurt, and you are angry at what has happened to you. You are scorned when you have been hurt, when you have been mistreated. And people think that just because you have a little bit of anger when you talk about what has happened to you, that you're bitter. You're not bitter. Because if you were bitter, you would be mad at the world. You would be angry to everybody. And if that's not you, you're not bitter. If you're only angry at the people that have hurt you, and that anger is directed at the people that caused you the pain, that caused you the trauma, and you're directing your anger towards those people specifically, that means you're scorned. It just means you're scorned. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. You are not bitter. You would be bitter if you're angry at everybody, not just the people that have hurt you. So don't let these people call you bitter, because you're not bitter. You're just scorned. Ashe.